Dwayne Keefe D Davis.
Dwayne Keefe D Davis.
Dwayne Keefe D Davis
was stabbed 7 times.
Keefe D is having a difficult time staying alive in prison. Reports are surfacing that Keefe D is allegedly in a critical state after a stabbing incident. The limited information available within the prison walls has plunged his future into uncertainty, igniting serious discussions about inmate safety and the struggle for survival in the correctional system. It is being told that Keefe D may or may not make it out of this situation alive. This alarming development has unleashed a storm of speculation and worry, leaving fans anxiously waiting for updates. So you might be asking, what led to this bloody stabbing? Will Keefe D survive? Keep watching till the end of this video to see what's really happening to Keefe D in prison. Trust me, you don't want to miss this.
Before we get into the video, I want to give a quick shout out to the #1 celebrity jeweler, the Ice Champ. The Ice Champ is doing a special deal for the next 24 hours on diamond watches, chains, and more. Follow at the Ice Champ on Instagram now.
Keefe D attacked in prison. Tupac murder suspect Keefe D has reportedly been having a rough time behind bars, according to Reggie Wright Jr. In a new interview with Bomb First, published on November 17th, Reggie, who worked at Suge Knight's Death Row Records and whose father was previously a gang enforcer at the Los Angeles Sheriff Department's unit Operation Safe Street in Compton, reported that Keefe has already been jumped multiple times in jail as he awaits trial and may be in for even worse. Birdie done got whooped on about 3 times already in there. And I got that from a very, very good source, he said. He gonna get when those dudes at the pen find out how he was saying they soft. Yeah, that audio's still out there. You better call Vlad and try to get it pulled down. Earlier this month, Keefe D pleaded not guilty in the case of Tupac's 1996 murder. This followed various delays in his arraignment process. His trial is scheduled to begin on June 3, 2024. He's due back in court for another hearing at the beginning of next year. Keefe D's attorneys, Charles Cano and Robert Arroyo, have previously stated that they plan to seek bail. While many are glad at the prospect that some justice may finally be served on behalf of Tupac, others don't believe Keefe D's arrest has provided much closure. Big Hit spoke on the case earlier this week, claiming that nothing can make up for what was lost when the late icon was murdered. Though Nevada is a capital punishment state, prosecutors will not be seeking the death penalty for Keefe if convicted. Keefe D, who is now 60 and claims to have been diagnosed with cancer, is the only person to ever be charged with the murder of Tupac after he was arrested in September. Fans of the late rapper believe that Keefe claiming to have been diagnosed with cancer is an elaborate scheme to try and get a reduced sentence or some form of sympathy from the judge in his case. Despite pleading not guilty, Keefe D has made a number of claims over the years about masterminding the shooting of Tupac, including detailing the incident in his 2019 book, Compton Street Legend. Nevada prosecutors claim that Tupac was involved in a casino brawl with well-known Crips gang member Orlando Anderson, who is the nephew of Keefe D on the night of the shooting. Anderson is believed to have been in the car with Keefe D during the drive-by shooting, with some accounts IDing him as the gunman. Death Row Records co-founder Suge Knight was also wounded during the night of Tupac's shooting. He has since commented on Keefe D's arrest in an interview with TMZ from prison, stating that he won't testify against the former gang member if called to the stand during the trial. Suge Knight also said that Keefe D wasn't the one that pulled the trigger that night. There is speculation that if the case gets complicated, a judge would have to force Knight to testify against Keefe D, since he seems to be the only one on the planet who has information about what really happened that night. Keefe D pleaded not guilty in court. Keefe D formally entered his not guilty plea in a Las Vegas courthouse. Pitchfork reported that Keefe D's formal arraignment was held on November 2nd, where he entered his plea while being represented by a public defender. This marks a change in plan from Davis's original hiring of hotshot Las Vegas attorney Ross Goodman, who was set to represent him. However, according to the outlet, Keefe D and Goodman parted ways when they couldn't reach an arrangement on the terms of payment, and now Keefe D is claiming that he can't afford a private lawyer. During the brief time that he represented Keefe D, Goodman said that the case's state was weak and that his client wasn't a man who was going to run away if given a chance. "I think Mr. Davis should be released OR on his own recognizance," he said. "He's not a flight risk. He's not a danger to the community. He's lived in Henderson for 11 years and he's not going anywhere." The Tupac murder trial has its fair share of issues, especially after nearly 30 years of no movement in the case. But one of the biggest obstacles may be Suge Knight's refusal to testify about what exactly he saw on the night of September 7, 1996. TMZ spoke with the Death Row Records co-founder over the phone back in October to get his thoughts on the recent development in Tupac's long-running homicide investigation. Knight, who is currently behind bars serving a 28-year sentence of his own for voluntary manslaughter, also claimed that Keefe D's nephew, Orlando Anderson, was not the shooter, contrary to popular belief. There were only two people in the car. Pac's not going to tell the story, and I ain't going to tell the story, said the former record executive, who was wounded while sitting next to Tupac during the fatal drive-by shooting. But I can tell you this, I never had nothing bad to say about Orlando because he wasn't the shooter. It wasn't Anderson, so that's all I got to say about that part. Keefe D is alleged to have orchestrated the hit as retribution against Tupac, who, alongside his entourage, had also attacked Anderson in the lobby of the MGM Grand Casino in Las Vegas on the night of September 7, 1996. Keefe D gets a new trial date. The long-awaited murder trial of Keefe D is set to commence on June 3, 2024, as ruled by a Las Vegas judge on Tuesday, per the New York Daily News, a week before Keefe D entered a plea of not guilty. This development marks a crucial chapter in the enduring mystery surrounding Tupac's tragic death. Since Keefe D had to resort to using public defenders, the change in legal representation added another layer of intrigue to the unfolding narrative, sparking speculation about the intricacies of the defense strategy and the challenges that lie ahead for Keefe. Keefe D's connection to the Tupac murder case runs deep, as revealed through a web of associations and revelations. One of the most significant links, of course, being Orlando Anderson, who was involved in a fight with Tupac just hours before the fatal drive-by, and who met his own demise in a Los Angeles shootout in 1998. Keefe D, the sole surviving member of the group directly involved with the incident besides Suge Knight, can't deny how vocal he has been recounting the events leading up to Tupac's murder. In his interview and book, Keefe D provides a chilling account of the fatal shooting of Tupac. Additionally, he detailed how their group, consisting of individuals like DeAndre Freaky Smith and Terry Bubble Up Brown, encountered Tupac's caravan near the Las Vegas Strip. Moreover, his narratives outline the unfolding events that culminated in the fatal encounter, shedding light on the motivations and circumstances that led to Tupac's untimely demise. As the trial date of June 3, 2024 approaches, the world awaits answers to all of the enduring questions surrounding the decades-long murder case. Keefe D's role in the events leading to that fateful night will be scrutinized in the courtroom.